Hey everyone, it's time. It's time to do the review on the LG V10. So, as you guys know, I got this phone October 31st on Halloween, and I wanted to try the phone out for at least a week or so. And now today is November the 12th. So it's been a little bit more than a week, right? And we're going to do the review. If I have any other comments or things I find out about the phone, I will let you guys know and do another follow-up review. So let's do this. This is the V10. Oh, before we do this, sorry. I want to once again wish all the veterans out there a happy Veterans Day, and all my fellow and former Marines a happy 240th birthday. Hoorah, Semper Fi, Devil Dogs. Alright, let's get this show on the road. So, here is the V10. And let's do size comparisons real quick first. This is the HTC Deluxe, also known through Verizon as the HTC DNA or Droid DNA. It was the first phone that had a 1080p screen and a screen of 5 inches or more. I believe it's 5 inches flat. And then right here is another 1080p screen phone. This is my Samsung Galaxy Note 3 from Verizon. And then I have the Note 4 T-Mobile. And now the V10 T-Mobile. Okay, so this is the, let's just take the DNA out of the way. I just wanted to show you guys the difference in size between a 5-inch screen and a 5.7-inch screen. Let's see, let me power this on. The one thing I don't like about these HTC, I should have done a review on it a long time ago, is the button right here up top is flush. Okay, so there's the 5.1-inch screen to a 5.7-inch screen right there, as you guys can see. Alright, so the other 1080p, like I said, the Note 3, and then the Note 4 was the first in Samsung's line of smartphones to have the 2K or 1440p or what they call Quad HD. It's not the first phone to have a Quad HD. I believe the LG G3 was the first smartphone to have or to come out that had Quad HD. And all the phones now, all the flagship phones right now are 1440p, with the exception of Sony. Sony Xperia Z5 have full 4K HD. So I was interested in getting that, but Sony always has problems bringing their phones out to the market, and that's why they're not doing so well. So let's do a little size comparison of the Note, my two Notes and the V10. So you have the Note 3 right here, the Note 4 with my D-brand carbon fiber skin, and the V10. Okay, so here they are from the right side. As you guys could already tell, the two Notes have the power button on the right side of the phone, whereas LG pretty much on the sides there's nothing on the sides. So here they are from the back, and this is where all of LG's buttons are right there in the back. And then Here they are from the left side. On your Note 4s and probably most traditional phones, you got your volume rockers right here on the sides, and again the LG is plain on the side. So in my review, that's the one thing I had to get used to, is these back buttons right here on the LG. Okay, so as you guys know, the Note 3 has also a 1080p screen, just like the this HTC Deluxe or Droid DNA in Verizon. So we're not going to compare the screen of those two, just because they're not the same resolution. So right off the bat, I just want to compare these two screens so you guys can know about the LG. First things first, the cons, what I don't like about this phone. A lot of people are going to be put off by the size. I don't mind the size of this phone. I really don't. It feels good in the hand. It's not slippery because of this DuraGuard back cover right here. The part that is kind of slippery are, like I said, the sides. When your hands are dry, like mine are sometimes, the sides can get a little slippery, but it feels premium. As you guys know, the Note 4 was the first, well, no, not the Note 4, I think it was the Galaxy Alpha, was the first from Samsung that they started using, you know, like the metallic frames with the aluminum sides. And then from the Galaxy S6 on up, they started going with more premium materials. Premium being like, you know, design language goes as far as like looking expensive. Premium to me does not mean durability, it just means it looks more expensive, I guess. So right until the S6, they started using, you know, like the glass backs, just like the iPhones. Okay, so basically that's what the new S6 and the new Note 5s and the S6 Edge, S6 Edge Plus remind me of. They're kind of like the new Apple iPhones. Samsung removed the ability to swap the back covers. They sacrificed that for the premium, to get a premium look. And they also removed the ability to get micro SD card expansion, which is sad, because if you look at Sony's new Z5 phones, especially the Z5 Premium, it looks like a very premium, hence the word premium, right? The name premium. A very premium looking phone. They have the same build materials, you know, they got the metal on the sides or on the frame of the phone, and then you got the glass front and back, you know, front and back sections. The thing is, Sony, you could still add micro SD, where Samsung, they abandoned it. And that kind of ticked me off, because I'm a storage freak, as you guys will see. They also removed the IR blaster up top here on the Note 4, whereas the Note 5 or the Note, no, not the Note, the Galaxy S6, they all have the IR blaster, and they removed it from the Note 5. So the Note 5, if it wasn't for the S Pen, there would be no distinguishing extra features that it has over the S6, other than having a larger screen. They removed the IR blaster, and they you know, took out the ability to have extra storage, which sucks. The Note line always used to be Samsung's, what you call experimental features phone, as far as like breaking new ground. Like the Note 4 was their first phone, the first phone from Samsung to have the 2K screen. And they were the first phones, you know, they were the first phones to pretty much have all the newest features from Samsung, like the heart rate sensors and all those other stuff. So it sucked that they removed some of those features when it came down to the Note 5. I was hoping they would keep it, and that's why I got this V10. The V10 on the sides is made out of like 3L stainless steel, the same type of stainless steel that people use for like your expensive watches and also your hospital like surgical equipment. Okay, it's military spec to be able to withstand, I believe, up to 10 drops from 3 feet away and not get any damages. If you guys are interested in a drop test, I'll put a link for Android Authority's drop test that they did on this V10. So it's got this nice solid feeling 3L stainless steel, which is supposed to be able to keep the phone from absorbing impact, and also this DuraGuard skin right here in the back. It feels very premium. It feels very solid. It really does. Just as much, if not more so, than my Note 4. And like I said, it's military spec to withstand a bunch of drops, or up to 10 drops, I guess. So it's made to be very durable. The Note 4 was also one of Samsung's first phones to have Gorilla Glass 4. This V10 has 2 sheets of Gorilla Glass 4. 2, not just 1. Did I mention you can swap the batteries and add up to 2 terabytes of extra storage? That's what I love about this phone. When I was at T-Mobile, all these people that were getting the Note 5 they're going from a Note 5 to the Note 4. The people that don't know any better were having all their when I say don't know any better, I mean they don't know that they could have saved all their stuff on the cloud, right? You can, when you get a new phone that's Google or Android, all your contacts are already saved through the cloud. Pictures and media and all that other stuff, that's dependent. You can save it on the cloud, or you could save it to your SD card. Or what people were doing, they were transferring whatever they had on their SD card into their new Note 5s, which was a pain in the butt because some people were there for a while waiting for their files from their SD cards to get transferred to their new Note 5s. Whereas, the beauty of having expandable storage is you just pop the SD card out, put it into your new phone, and it just takes like seconds to do that. So that was one feature that I had to have, and the new Notes did not have. So hopefully Samsung will do something about that next year. So like I said, this phone is as you can see, is a little bit taller than the Note. It's a little bit thicker than my Note 4, as you can see from here, from the top view and bottom view. But it doesn't feel that much bigger or thicker. If you can handle the size of the Note 4, you'll be able to handle the size of this V10 with no problems. Okay? So, like I said, the one thing I don't like, and the 2 cons that I don't like, maybe 3, is I miss my S Pen, and the speaker here on the bottom right here is not the loudest. Even with this phone, when it was stock, it's not stock anymore. It's running a different version, a different ROM from Texas. So the sound on this thing is enhanced on this Note 4. The sound is enhanced on this. This has a 32-bit DAC, which you guys will see in a bit how it works and how that good does for the sound. But stock sound, just the sound of the this bottom speaker, it's okay. It sounds pretty good, but it's not the loudest. Like if I'm watching certain YouTube videos at home, I can sometimes, like when I'm in the kitchen fixing food for me to eat or something like that, and I'm watching a video or I'm listening to the video, I can barely hear what the video is saying. Whereas on this Note 4 I can. It gets pretty loud. Even though it's not the clearest, at least you can hear, the video. This one, sometimes you can barely hear some of the videos that you're watching or listening to. So yeah, the speaker is not that loud. The so that yeah, that's it. The one con is, or the two cons is, I missed the S Pen. I wish LG would, you know, start making some of their phones. They have this LG Stylo, but it really doesn't compare with the Note. It's more of a mid-range phone with mid-range specs than like a premium phone like this V10 is right here. So I missed the S Pen, and I missed and the speaker right here is not that loud. But other than that, that's it. Let's show you guys the screen real quick. Now I know there's been problems with these fingerprint readers, or the scanner on LG not working too good. And here's the thing. LG also makes the new Nexus 5X, where the fingerprint scanner is also in the back, right? But on those new Nexus phones, once you put your finger on the fingerprint scanner, it automatically wakes up the phone. With LG's fingerprint scanner, it's a two-step process. First, you have to wake up the screen by pressing this power button once, and then you put your finger on the fingerprint scanner to unlock it. So that's the other thing I didn't like. I wish you could just put your finger there and boom, it automatically, you know, turns on your screen and unlocks it. You have to do it through two steps. Wake up the screen, press it, and then put the fingerprint onto the scanner. So it's a two-step process, and hopefully with the software update, LG can fix that. The other thing is, like people were saying, is certain cases made the fingerprint scanner kind of hard to read, and I'm here to tell you it does. It does. So if you guys watch my other video on my channel, if you're buying cases through Amazon, look for cases that say fingerprint scanner compatible, like this Rinky Fusion right here. Okay, so let's compare the screens. So right now, I'm going to unlock my Note. We're going to go auto brightness first so we can compare. Whoops, just turned it off. Okay, so yep, this is on auto. So this is auto brightness for both phones. Okay, as you guys can probably tell, the Samsung Note 4 with the AMOLED screen is just a little bit brighter at default. And I'm going to say it right now, probably on manual brightness too, the Samsung's is just a little bit brighter. The LG though is out of the two phones has the more accurate colors. Don't you guys hate it when you see these screen comparisons and the person doing the review has two different like wallpapers? Please, all you other reviewers, when you compare two screens of two different phones, have the same wallpaper. That will make it more apples to apples comparison versus an apples to orange type comparison. So this is at auto brightness. Yeah, this is at auto brightness. So I'm going to switch them up as far as so you guys can see. We'll get a little side, go to the side, and then here, bottom view, top view. Now we're going to go to manual. So this is on full manual brightness here, the Note 4 is, and I'm going to put the LG on full manual brightness also, so you guys could also see that. So you see, they're I don't know, maybe manual brightness, they're almost the same, right? The AMOLED screen though, as you could tell, has more punchier colors. This orange or yellow on the Firecracker looks more yellow. This one looks a little bit off yellow, or And the red here on this firecracker looks more red. This one looks kind of oranges. The thing is, the one thing I like with Samsung phones is their phones have different modes. So you can have a manual mode for the screen, like they have picture mode, cinematic mode or something like that. And then this one, I think it's called adaptive display, which is the default setting for most of your Samsung smartphones. They have what's called adaptive display. LG doesn't have anything like that with where you can change the different you know, the color temperature on the screens. So I wish they did. So both phones are 2K or 1440p. Okay, so that's enough of that screen comparison. If you guys want to, I'll do a full comparison between these two phones later on. Anyways, let's get back to the LG. So yeah, the screen on here is very nice and bright and very detailed. No problems when viewing outdoors. The blacks on this thing almost looks like it's AMOLED, but it isn't. It's a LCD, what LG calls their quantum display technology or something like that. My brother, who also has a Note 4, thought this LG phone, this V10, looked more detailed than the Note 4, and that's probably because even though the Note 4 is a 1440 screen, they still use like pentile matrix or something like that, whereas LCD screens don't use that. They don't use pentile matrix. So the specs on this thing, this is not the fastest phone as far as specs go. It doesn't have the Snapdragon 810. Everybody who are into these kind of phones know that the Qualcomm had issues with their Snapdragon 810s with the overheating issues and stuff like that. So LG, what they did with their flagship phones is they used the Snapdragon 808, which is 2 cores short. So most of the newer phones coming out now with the 64-bit chip or processor all have like 8 cores. This one has 6, but it's got 4 gigs of RAM, whereas most of your smartphones now, with the exception of the Note 5, have 4 gigabytes of RAM. This also has 4 gigs of RAM. Most of the other phones have only 3. So that makes a difference in day-to-day tasks. The launcher I'm using right now is called Smart Launcher 3. If you guys are interested in the launcher, you can watch the review on my channel, and that's it for my shameless plug there. But yeah, a lot of people, you know, don't like LG's stock launcher. They say it doesn't look that good. I don't know. I really don't use LG's launcher. I don't really. When I got the Note 4, I wasn't really using Samsung's TouchWiz launcher. I've always had a different launcher. Before Smart Launcher 3, I was using Go Launcher for all of my phones. Now I'm using Smart Launcher. So I can't give you guys an opinion on how the stock launcher is for any of these phones because I don't really use any of the stock launchers. So I apologize for that, but what I can tell you is this phone is pretty good. It doesn't lag. I'm gonna pop up the camera. See, there are no lags on this phone since the whole time I've been using it. It's pretty zippy. So I have no problems with that, and that's probably because of the 4 gigs of RAM that there's no lags on this phone. The other thing is, the one main thing that I bought this phone for is for its camera. The camera on the Note 4 was okay, but it still had problems with like focusing and taking pictures in dim environments or shooting video in dim lighting. This one is a champ when it comes to indoor photography or videography indoors. it's got good microphones. If you guys want to see some examples of the video on this thing, I did 2 reviews. One of them I think was the Asus ZenWatch unboxing, and another one was with one of the cases, but you can look them up in my channel. And man, the microphone capability on this recording and the for video and for pictures is outstanding. Okay, so let's go through a little walkthrough real quick. So the sides here, like I said, are stainless steel. They can get kind of slippery if your hands are dry like mine's. In the back is where all the magic happens as far as for this phone. You got your volume down button here, a volume up button here. You got the power button here in the center with your fingerprint scanner. You got your laser autofocus right here, and then your LED flash right here. You got a 16 megapixel camera up here, and you got your, what the LG calls your color spectrum sensor, which helps to, when you're taking pictures, give it a more accurate like colors and stuff like that. Up here in the front you have another color spectrum sensor, ambient light sensor, and you have these 2 front facing cameras, one for regular selfies and one for wide angle selfies. And then you have your second screen up top here, which gives you all of your notifications. It's also got shortcuts to some of your what is that? Shortcuts to volume, Wi-Fi, and flashlight and camera. Okay, so let me unlock the phone again and we'll talk about that. First, like I said, the camera on here is a champion. There's ugly old me. But here is regular selfie mode, as you can see right here, and then there's wide selfie. Okay, regular selfie, and then wide selfie right there. Okay, regular, wide. Okay, now I'm not really big on selfies, but some people and some reviewers are like, why LG, why did you have 2 front facing cameras? Why didn't you just have one wide angle front facing camera like what Samsung did, or I don't know, Apple? You know what I say to that? Who cares? You know, like a lot of reviewers are saying, why have an extra screen up top here? It adds no extra functionality. Based on who? Based on you? Some people might find the extra screen up here useful, and you know what I say to that? It's better to have these features and not need them than to want those features and not have them, right? I mean, it's like if you're paying for an expensive car, like say, I don't know, a Bentley or something like that. You pay for a Bentley, and the only thing that, other than the name Bentley and the looks of the car, you have nothing extra, no extra luxuries on your car. The luxuries on your Bentley is the same as on a Nissan Sentra, but you paid like over $100 grand, or maybe almost a $250,000 for the car. That was that much more expensive, and you don't get all those extra features. You would be pissed. So that's the way I look at it. It's better to have the features and not use them and not need them than to want those features and not have them. That's what I always say. Me personally, I like the extra screen right here, not only for bragging rights to my Apple family, but my family all use iPhones, most of them, except for my other brother. So it's better to have those features, and I do use these features. These right here, recently used apps right here on the screen, I normally don't use. I normally use this, the this square button right here, which is your recent apps or recent menu. There's a button up, there's another section up here on the top of the screen where you can have 5 of your most used apps. So as you can see, my 5 most used apps: Kindle, the flashlight when when it's dark and I need something, like when I have to open up my front door when it's dark, and camera, my web browser, and my calendar. And then these are most recent apps. This is media controls right here, and this is for your 5 most contacts or used most contacted contacts. Okay, I did have them up there, but I don't know what happened. It disappeared when I was trying to install a case earlier. And then you can have a custom, you know, saying or your name on the front. So you can go here and you can have they have different fonts for it. I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to, you know, you got different options for that. So it's better to have all these different options. Did I mention you can change the battery, swap out the battery and SD card? That's another extra function that the other ones are missing. The IR blaster remote control. Samsung says most people don't use them. Well, I do, and some other power users do. I love the remote control feature because in my house, sometimes, you know, you don't know where you place the remote control, or someone who was watching TV earlier in the house used the remote control and now you can't find it. Well, guess what? You always have your phone with you, right? So all you got to do is you can use the phone as your remote control. The other thing I like to do with the remote control is I'll go to sports bars or stuff like that. If I don't like what's on the channel, I might troll and change the channel and stuff like that, and everybody's like, oh shoot, what the hell happened? But you got that option that you don't have no more with the newer Samsung Notes, and that to me was no good. Samsung, shame on you. Trying to be like Apple. Be yourself, Samsung, please. I love my Note phones, but now Samsung is trying to be too Apple. You know what they say? You cannot copy an original. Be your own original. So Samsung, go back to what made you, you know, go back to what made you famous, what made you money. This right here was, I was going to compare it to how it looks with the credit card size, so that's that. So I love this phone. I really do. I like this phone a lot. Other than the fingerprint scanner issues, what they call fingerprint gate, it's a very good phone. And the fingerprint scanner is pretty accurate. It's that you have to do it in 2 steps. I wish it was just a 1-step thing to unlock the phone, and that's all you do is put it there and you unlock the phone. That's how it is with the new Nexus phones, and in particular the Nexus 5X, which is made by LG, by the way. Okay, so yeah, so it's got a great screen. Battery life, if I did not mention, is not as good as, let's say, on my Note. My Note stock, my Note with custom ROM, the battery life is probably the same, but a stock Note 4 has much better battery life than the LG V10. The LG V10 comes with a 3000 milliamp battery, whereas the Note 4 I think came with a 3220 milliamp battery. But hey, no problem. I could just swap the battery. I can have a fresh battery on the charging dock, put it in my pockets, and walk out, and I'm good to go. By the way, today's the 12th. Until the 15th, I think 15th or 17th of November of this month, LG is doing a promotion where once you register your phone on LG's website, you'll get a free extra battery a charging dock, and a micro SD card. So I'm still waiting on mine, but I know I went online not too long ago and it says it was pending. So hopefully I can get those soon. So you get a free 200 gigabyte SD card from SanDisk, and a spare battery, and a charging dock. So that's pretty cool on LG's part. What else? So yeah, it's got a great screen. If you're not into AMOLEDs and you're more into more accurate screens, this is a very good screen. And like I said, my brother thought this screen looked more detailed than the same resolution screen of the Note 4 that he also has. Camera on this is outstanding. Excellent camera. Probably one of the best, especially for video. It's got these manual modes right here. So let's go back. This works for both still. The G4 I think only had the manual mode for still pictures. This one you got manual mode for both video and picture. So I just changed it not too long ago, but so you can change all these settings. So right now it's way super bright, but I can change that on manual mode. I'm still figuring some of this stuff out. So right here on auto mode, let me show you guys the multi-view. There's multi-view right there. There's the wide camera, the front-facing, the regular front-facing camera, and there's the back camera. It works pretty good. I don't know what you actually use it for, but hey, I just did something right there. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay? So yeah, the camera on here is very, very, very good. I love the camera on this. Way better than the Note 4's camera. Now the Note 4 had it had a pretty good camera, but it was challenging taking pictures in low light and also videos in low light. This thing, in low lighting conditions, it's a champ. It is a champ in low light pictures and video. So that's that. Now let's go do a quick demonstration of the 32-bit DAC that's also part of this phone's features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out my Klipsch Bluetooth speaker, because the 32-bit DAC only works when the 3.5 millimeter jack right here, when something's plugged into it. Okay, so I normally do not use my big phones like this. I use my smaller phone like this, the HTC, as my workout phone for listening to my tunes. But lately I've been using this because the sound off here is really, really nice, especially if you have a good pair of headphones. So let me get a song ready. We're gonna use that bass test mix extreme, so you don't get so I won't get into any copyright warnings and stuff like that. If you guys can see that right there, it says hi-fi. That's that hi-fi signal. That means the DAC is on. If I unplug this, see that the hi-fi DAC will disappear. I'll plug it back in, and now the hi-fi DAC is back on. Okay, so right now, whoops, by default, I'm gonna turn off the hi-fi DAC. Now the hi-fi processor on here, you can change the settings on there too, but it's we're just gonna go by default. Let's see if my volume is up.
Is a test.
So that's with it off. Now I'm going to turn it on. You guys hear that difference? Off. On. Shuffle this a That's on. Now it's off. Back off. Alright, let's turn that off. So that was the 32-bit digital audio compressor or chip, digital audio chip, I think that's what they call it. It works. Some people say you won't be able to tell the difference. Well, if you're detail wise, probably you won't be able to tell the difference detail wise in the music, because like they say, most of your music that you listen to online and most recordings are no higher than 16-bit, so you won't tell the difference with the 32-bit DAC, digital audio chip. But as far as loudness and bass and thump goes, you can't tell the difference. It's kind of like how this Beats audio on my HTC Deluxe kind of works out. This also, I think, had a special sound capabilities on this thing. So that is a plus, and I believe it's the only smartphone, premium smartphone, other than, I think, won't turn on, other than I think the ZTE Axon, that has a special audio chip. So that is a plus. And like I said, some people say you won't, some reviews say you can't tell the difference and it's not noticeable and blah blah blah, you don't need it and stuff like that. Like I said, it's better to need it and not have it, say it with me people, than to need it and not have it. So that is a plus. So overall, I am loving this phone so far. It's got a very good, very vibrant, very nice screen, 5.7-inch screen, and the camera features on here are, man, what can I say? The camera features on here are boss. They are very, very good. If you were just to get this just for the camera features alone, it's well worth it. And as far as premium or top of the line phones go right now, let's say compared to a Note 5, this is actually more affordable and it's more durable. So you got to take that into consideration. Do I just want looks or do I want functionality? Me, I prefer functionality and then looks second. Me personally, as far as for my smartphone goes, I prefer to have more features than looks, because at the end of the day, and this is this is supposed to be a durable, drop proof, military spec phone. At the end of the day, most people, regardless if they have an Apple iPhone 6s Plus, a Note 5, a Note Edge Plus, you're gonna put it in the case unless you want to take a chance of dropping your nice expensive phone and having the screen or the back of the phone crack. You're gonna put it in the case like most people will. So that thing with the design wise premium, premium materials, that's a moot point in my book, because at the end of the day they're all going into a case. At least that's my opinion. And I would prefer more functionality and features than for looks alone. Okay, so there you go. It's like having a hot girlfriend, but she's not too good in personality or whatnot, and you have another girlfriend who's not the hottest, but she's all right. She's pretty, but she makes you food. She knows how to cook. She's very smart. She's intelligent. Did I say she knows how to cook? Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. That's my review on the LG V10, 1.5 week out, I guess. I love this phone. It's a great phone. It's a good buy. If you're on Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T, I highly recommend it. I think AT&T, they're giving away an SD card. I don't know what size, maybe 128, along with a phone. And AT&T, I think, is the only carrier that has a different color other than black for these V10s. The other color, I think, is a light blue or metallic blue. So that's pretty cool for AT&T to have that promotion right now. And they have two different colors. You can get this phone, I believe, from T-Mobile for a little under $600 if you buy it full price. If not, get the jump plan, or I'm on jump on demand or something like that, and just, as long as your other phone is paid off, switch to another phone, for free, zero down. So that's it on that. Oh, like I said, I'm a big storage freak. By default, this phone internally has 32 gigs of storage, where other top of the line phones only come with like 16 and 32 gigs by default of storage. So you get 64 gigs of storage already built in. There's no other options. It's just 64 gigs and that's it. And then a micro SD expansion. So that's awesome. So that'll take care of all your video and picture stuff needs, or movie watching needs that you want to put onto your phone and stuff like that. So that is it. Thank you guys all for watching. I'm losing my voice because I did 2 other reviews before this one. Thank you guys all for watching, and once again, to all the veterans out there, happy Veterans Day. All my fellow Marines, happy 240th birthday, and we'll see you guys next time. Alright, take care and have a great day.